Well, hi guys, welcome back to Linda's Pantry. Today, I know I did a garden update for you, but I've got so many things that are happening now. It's that time of the year. And we added another green stalk that's down on the very end. Um, this one was the one that was gifted to me by Beth over at the Miller Life Kitchen. And it was funny because it was leaning and I couldn't figure out why. So my husband and I took it apart yesterday, and the very next to the last one down at the bottom wasn't sitting in there. It will not clip in right. It's like it's too wide. So we put it on the top. The water bucket or the water trough here sits in place. It won't seal into itself either because it's too, I don't know, it's almost like it's got too much soil in there, but I did not pack the soil down. I got it up to the fill mark and it settles on its own, but nonetheless, it's not leaning anymore. And I highly recommend, if you're going to get these, you do want to, and I will be an affiliate for them at some point. They're revamping their affiliate program. So, but they confirmed that yes, I'm going to be an affiliate. So hopefully I can get you a discount code and alert you to all the sales that come up and show you how I'm going to grow in these all year long. Okay. So it kind of swapped the profile. Instead of peppers up here, they're at the bottom. And this one here, there's one down here that it was labeled, and I still have the label. Jalapeno. It is not a jalapeno. I believe it is a sunflower plant, but I'm kind of excited. There's 2 or 3 buds on there. So we'll have a flower in here as well. Broccoli, some of it is just doing so good. No heads are forming yet though, but look at this beautiful broccoli plant. A couple of them got chewed on, and I think I got the caterpillars. I had to pluck them off, you know. I've got rosemary and parsley, and these are patio tomatoes. They're all flowering and starting to set fruit, so that's wonderful. These are so easy to give it a water if you want to water the pockets themselves or just water from above. And I do both right now because the plants are still becoming established. But I'm just going to tell you, I'm in love with these green stalks. So I'm going to turn the camera around. I'm not only going to show you this, but I'm going to take you down to the greenhouse and show you what I have going on there. And I'm planting tomatoes in grow bags. And I've got several trout heads that we're going to be putting down in the soil as a fertilizer for the tomatoes. So that will be a slow release action for them, and they will love it. Let me go ahead and turn the camera around and I'll take you for a tour. Okay, so I'm out here at the greenhouse, and I do have one of the grow bags that I need a little bit more soil in. I ran out of soil, and I've got a glove on because of the fish stuff. I don't want it on my garden gloves. And I've got several tomato plants here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got to plant 8 tomato plants today. So, and it's hot. Oh, let me just tell you, it's really warm. Each 10-gallon grow bag takes about a 1.5 cubic foot bag of soil. So if you're doing grow bags, which this year that's kind of what I have to do, you'll want to make sure that you get enough soil in each bag. It doesn't have to be full to the top, but it does need, you're going to need some soil. So, and I'm just going to start filling with this little spade. I like it. Got my fish heads. I'm smoking some trout. We had trout earlier, fried, but I thought, well, I'm going to smoke the rest of it. So that was very nice to be gifted 10 trout. So I get the bag as full as I can, and then I carry it in the greenhouse. Because there's a ledge here, I can't take the wheelbarrow in with me. So I guess I could have put the fish head in now. Means I have 10 fish heads. I'll pick a couple small ones and put in here. So you got fish heads. This will turn into free fertilizer. It is not the end of, and put it right down at the bottom. It'll keep critters out, but it'll fertilize that that plant can feed off of the nutrients in the fish head. So if you've ever done that before, let me know. Some of the best tomatoes I ever had. We had got fish eggs at the fishmonger and used them in the garden, and they were amazing tomatoes. They were huge plants with just loaded with tomatoes. So the tomatoes I'm planting today, for the most part, are Romas. So, okay, I'm going to finish filling the, I think I've got one more bag to fill after this. And then I'll show you how I plant them. In fact, I'll just show you out here. The greenhouse hasn't hit 85 yet, or the fan would be on, but it's warm, and I am going to water in there and let them, I water about every other day, every third day. Only because I know it doesn't need it. It keeps its own moisture going. So here we go. And the reason I'm using the greenhouse is because the deer love tomatoes. Okay, I'm taking you in. Into the greenhouse we go. So this is going to be my setup. Oh, here comes the fan. So it's now 85 in here, and it circulates some air. It's actually going to suck air in and pull the hot air out. So we've got peppers and 3 of the tomatoes that are going to go in bags today. This is a purple tomato, I'm not sure. And those 2 are a health kick is what they're called. The peppers are going nuts, parsley and celery. I've got 3 celery butts in here. These are the tomatoes I planted maybe a month ago in here. Absolutely wonderful. And I've already got cherry tomatoes. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. You don't even know. The middle one is aroma. So I did add some soil yesterday. I'm gonna keep adding some more, just to give them plenty of nutrients. And the grow bags will be two on each side. This is crookneck squash and cantaloupe, and that's flat leaf parsley. And then here's my zucchini, and this is Romanesca zucchini, and 1 lonely wing bean. Out of all those seeds that I tried to germinate, I could only get 1 to germinate. So I'm excited. These should be putting blooms on here soon. I see a little tiny bloom down there. Where is it? Right in there. Anyway, whew, I'm already sweating. And yeah, we're going to get blooms here soon, which means we get, what? We're going to get squash blossom lasagna. Yes. And I did get artichokes. So I've got 2 artichokes of a different variety that I will be putting in the ground. I've got a green globe and a violetto. Okay, and I'm sweating, so I'm coming outside. I got to get in the shade. Okay, so the mower stopped now. I am going to take you over here and show you exciting stuff. Okay, we'll start with the grow bags, which these little ones from last year, I do need to empty those. I'm going to do that here in a minute into the wheelbarrow and mix it in with the good compost. So these are nasturtiums, but these are rhubarb that I planted from seed in those rock wools last year. And so they got transplanted, but they are doing fabulous. They're getting new leaves. That wrinkly leaf back there is new. These 2 little guys are new. The soil is full of worms. I'm not even joking. So these guys looked pretty sorry. The 2 leaves on this were broken, if you remember. But look at the new growth coming out. And this is all new growth. In here, this was the one that I got from M.I. Gardener. And it did very well in a pretty small grow bag. But now it's got its home till it needs a bigger spot. And more nasturtiums. Again, rhubarb. And I'm super excited because these guys, I thought that one was dead. This one is putting on new stuff. Get this dry leaf off here. Look there. New and new. Yeah, so they're getting themselves established, which is huge. And then that one that you just saw, and these came from the nursery, and they have now got themselves established. I see new leaves back there, and more nasturtiums, some garlic. And look at the growth, the new growth on this one. Just fantastic. I'm super excited. More rhubarb, and these were from seed. I transplanted these yesterday. So they'll take a minute to get established in here, but once they do, they'll be just like the other ones. So that's, how many is that? That's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 or 11. And more nasturtiums, chives. I've got garlic chives on each side, and that's an onion chive. These are garlic that are, these are onions that are popping up. This is an onion bed. So we'll have onions out of here and garlic over here. We'll see what it does. I'm super late on garlic. I always plant it in the fall, but this is a garlic that you can plant and harvest. It's not going to keep as long, but this year we'll make sure we get a nice big bed of garlic and let it winter over. And then we've got pear trees. So I don't think I showed you the pears. We had to bury, right here, we had to bury a water line for the sub pump. This is a pear tree, and I don't remember if this is a Bartlett. I believe this is a Bartlett pear. And I want to spray it because he said they get scabby and ugly, and it's got so many pears. The deer will come in here and eat what they can, but there's a lot. So we'll share until we fence them out. And then this is an apple tree here. I don't see any apples, but it's a good shade tree, so I didn't want to cut it down because it is a nice shade tree. But I certainly don't see any apples up in here. But blueberries, oh my goodness. Look at these clusters of blueberries. And we're hoping that the birds leave them alone for a while anyway, until we get some. Once they start turning, they leave them be. They only like them when they're green. So, but there's one there, and even this little guy is loaded with blueberries, right? And one there, so 2 small ones there in the center, and these big ones here, and they're all just loaded with blueberries. So super exciting. This is an Asian pear, which one side of it has one kind of an Asian pear, and the other side has a different kind. Oh, I do see an apple right up there. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but oh, I see a few. There's a few. We might get a couple, or the deer might. But so these are the pears. See those beauties? They are so good too. They're so crisp and sweet. And there's some more here and some over here. So I can see these are going to be scabby. I might get some spray. I don't want anything that's going to harm them, but help them be prettier, I guess. I want to can them too. So apple tree, this is an old apple tree as well, and I don't see anything on it, but I could be missing it. But again, it's a good shade tree. It's a nice shade tree. So we'll be planting out here on the other side of the fence. We'll be planting more trees. I could even plant inside here and keep it fenced off. I'd like to have more of a dwarf variety. So this is also new. And we're getting ready to fill these. This is a vajayga bed. So this one, and we got one more just like this that's going to go back there. And these are 32 inches tall, 3.5 feet wide by 6 feet long. So this will be the asparagus bed, and we're going to decide whether we want 2 or not. We could do 2 asparagus beds and make it just fantastic. We'd have more asparagus than we'd ever need. So we have blackberries right up there and raspberries and the wisteria, but that's the extent of the fruit trees. But look at these blueberries. Look at all of them. I just love it. So guys, I do hope it inspires you to think of different ways you can garden when you can't put it in ground. Nothing does really well here because it's so sandy in ground, but you can do raised beds inexpensively. Grow bags are very inexpensive. And if you want to make the investment in the vajayga beds, they are worth it. We waited till they went on sale. Those were less than $150 a piece, and we have 4 of them. We have 2 oyster colored ones that we're going to do 2 feet wide by 8 feet long. So you can choose your dimensions on those, which is very cool. Anyway, now we're deciding whether we're going to put netting over this and keep the birds out. All right, I can't wait to see you next time for another delicious recipe. And trust me, there's going to be some blueberry recipes coming up. Just giving you a few pictures of what's growing and how it's going. I hope that you are having great success with your gardens this year, no matter how you have to garden. It's been a challenge to figure out what I should or shouldn't do in the garden, but we're getting a good start on it, and I'm so happy.